Oh, hi everyone. How are you? As I posted yesterday, sometimes after I do something that, is kind of, you know, emotional, like thinking about this case is emotional, I try to get out of the house and go and have some fun somewhere. So I put that video up of that beautiful butterfly. It was just such a simple piece of beauty that I just couldn't get enough of. Um, and I wanted to make that known, where our beautiful Bonita Barbie, lives in Hawaii. She can go in and live in I mean, where else is more beautiful than Hawaii? I think that it's obviously among the most beautiful places in the world, but probably our top three for our United States, right? So she can go take a walk on the beach and just experience such beauty. And I need to drive a little while before I can find such beauty. And I wanted to just take a picture of that butterfly because it was just so cute. And you don't see many of those swallowtails with the black and white and a little blue. And I was just like trying to take a quick picture of her. And then she just kept posing, as you could see, and coming over and showing how beautiful she was. So, in all of this, we just have to be sure that we can ground ourselves and we can talk about this and talk, and at the end of the day something so terrible happened that we can't file it, because if we were to believe the narrative that this absolutely beautiful family with, well, one of the authors said Chris had movie star good looks, and SW is said to be very beautiful in person. And those girls, I would have loved to have raised those girls. Those girls, just so sweet. And so if we were to believe the narrative that you're just going along life and you have this perfect life and everything is perfect and you live in a house that's just about big enough to be a mansion and everything is perfect. Everything is in order. Everything's perfect. Your husband's perfect. Your wife is perfect. The kids are perfect. And then just all of a sudden, you know, husband's going to snap and kill y'all. So, if we were to believe that narrative, I mean, gosh, wouldn't we all be like, okay, honey, I hope that I made you a good enough lunch today. Is it good, honey? Because we wouldn't want our seemingly normal, loving husband to just snap one day out of the blue, right? I mean, I can't go to a place where anybody actually believes it's that simple, okay? If people honestly believe it and that's that simple, you would say, gosh, it must be nice to have such a simple brain. But it must be terrifying in the same right, because you would just assume that, oh, gosh, they're like all those headlines for the Yellowstone, that some of these buffalo look so nice and peaceful, and you just want to go up and hug a buffalo, and then what do you know? This buffalo that's been nice and hugged 30 people is just going to gore you, because you see all these videos, people bringing their kids down. Must have been a nice seeming buffalo. What do you know? You do one wrong thing and the thing is going to gore you, right? You do one wrong thing for your husband, you don't have dinner ready at 5 o'clock, comes in at 5:05, he might just take you all out. I mean, if you're that simple that you believe that, then you must just be terrified of everything, right? A mere rainfall could take you out. I mean, how could anybody believe that it's that simple? I don't get it. I don't get it. But I wanted to really take a moment and thank everybody for the kind things they're saying in the comments. I know that my words don't come out in the way that I want them to. I know that I'm not well spoken like I once was. I know that I don't articulate properly. I had severe COVID a year ago, and I had COVID-induced meningitis, and it is not all the way healed. My brain is still healing, so I have a problem with finding words sometimes, and I don't think that the words come out right sometimes because I had initially, started really listening to Miss Mensa, and I thought that I did fine on the panels. We had a really good conversation one night, and the next time I tried to go on the thing, I wasn't acknowledged, and then the next time after that, I asked if I could come on and ask a question, and I asked a question, and I wasn't finished, and I went to say something, and then I got muted, and then she blocked me, and I assumed it was, fat finger thing, like she couldn't have really wanted to mute me and block me from everything, right? It was like a quick slap, like I've explained, I'm really sensitive, and that it made me cry. It was just like, God, what did I do? Did I say something bad? I quickly wrote her an email apologizing for whatever I had said, or if what I said came out wrong, I offended somebody, or did something terrible. And there's been no response to my email. So I don't know what I said wrong on Mensa's channel. I don't know. But I know that Mensa was very suspicious and assumed that I was a shiner, and I didn't even know what a shiner was at that point. Oh, I didn't know what a shiner was until I started listening to her, and then I understand. So she thought that I was a shiner, and I hope that it's obvious to everybody that I'm not a shiner. So Miss Mensa doesn't like me, and the shiners don't accept me. So I'm kind of on the sinking Watts Island, and so I'm not a shiner. And I'm just going to say now, for the record, that I'm not a shiner. I'm alone here. I'm the lone ranger here doing my own work. And I'm just going to say here in the comments that if somebody says something terrible to me, I am just going to say it right here. Just like the dinosaurs had T-Rexes, I don't want any T-Watts. Okay? If you are going to be terrible in the comments, I'm just going to assume that you are a T-Wat, okay? I love the way the Brits say it. They say twat, okay? No twats on my channel, okay? Just go away. Go find somebody who accepts you. I'm independent, as we can all see. I'm the independent creator here, out here by myself. Now, with that being said, I am humbled because I freaking love the conversations that we're having. I don't get to have conversations like that in my real life. People are pretty surface talk, so I don't get, especially other women, to just really talk intelligently, and just haven't had that in a long time. I guess probably since I was in college, but I did a lot of college online, so I could still be doing that when I was home with the kids. I took as many classes as I had to be campus-based, but I tried to do them all online, and then I just take my books and my homework and sit at a little picnic table and let the kids play on the park all day long and climb and play and run and laugh. And that's what I love seeing children do, and it just really bothers me that 2 children in this situation were never really allowed to do that. It wasn't a welcome and joyful noise in that home, and that's very sad to me. So here I am, and out there seeing these beautiful creators, and I'm just humbled by their kindness. And so please, there's no competition between any of us. We all are a community that are enjoying talking about something that doesn't feel right to any of us, that we don't accept or acknowledge the mainstream media's version of this terrible tragedy. And so, like I say, I love Neek's Peaks. Honestly, Hollywood level vignettes, just absolutely done perfectly, and you can see everything in SW's own words. That is what is the game changer with Neek's Peaks, because those of us who had seen it but don't, like, I don't have a laptop. Okay, I do everything by my cell phone. I don't have any talent with YouTube, as you guys can see. I'm a very just basic person when it comes to that. I do everything by my phone, so even me trying to read the Discovery is really difficult on my phone. So, Neek's Peaks, it's awesome. I will screenshot as some of it goes, because it does go fast. I will screenshot it, and then I will look at those screenshots and really write down the information that I found so salient that I just really want to hold on to it and really understand what that sentiment was that SW said, because that's just loaded with information. And Hot Ham Radio, she's just beep 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 beep, Hot Ham Radio coming on. And she's just amazing because she's really talented with her creator skills, and she's so smart and down to earth. And I just feel like I'm at lunch with her having a great conversation. If I could have a great conversation like that at a lunch with a friend, I think that my stress level overall would be so much less. And on that note, I want to say that I see these people who I know are and they go on and they say things like, I love SW. I want to be like SW. I want to be your friend. And in this same vein, they are attacking another woman. Okay? So their idea of making friends doesn't really pass the sniff test. It's like if you want to make friends, then be nice to other people. And, if you see something you don't quite agree with, say why you don't. And say, I saw this and it just, my experience is that this is that. But don't come on and say, oh, I would have been her BFF and she's wonderful and I would have been her friend and I want to be just like her. And then degrade other women in the same thing. Just don't do it. It's just, So, Hot Ham Radio, I want to have lunch with you, ma'am, okay? Can we do that? Huh? And like I've said, I think that there's crime.con, and I want to go because it's kind of been a running joke for a while. Like, I guess that sometimes my hair kind of looks like Nancy Grace, and I guess that sometimes if I get going, I sound like Miss Nancy. And so some of my friends call me Nancy Grace. So, I want to go to crime.com just because I want to see Miss Nancy in person and talk to her about her twins and my twins and talk about being a twin mom and all of that entails and how those twins are, and those twins are just growing. Okay. So I decided we're going to have none of them are allowed. Okay. But we're going to have a convention. And surprise, Bonita Barbie, you're going to be the keynote speaker because we're going to go to where you live for our convention, okay? So, Kelly from What's the Obsession, pretty much the nicest person on the planet, I'm telling you. She's smart, too. Nice, pretty, smart, articulate, patient. This woman has it all. She really does. She's so nice and she's so smart, and I just love her content. And from her, of course, I saw that A Curious Rose is reading oh gosh, what's that called? See, here goes COVID brain urge. Was it Blood and Marriage? Is that what it's called? And she's reading it, which is really good because I took a break from my Audible subscription for 3 months because I didn't think I was using it that much, and it's it's not cheap. And I was like, yeah, I kind of need the money more for gas than I do for Audible. So I put my Audible on a 3-month pause, and I was like, oh crap, right after I did it, because then that book came out. So it's awesome that A Curious Rose is reading it. And then that way I can just put my sleep band on. If you guys haven't invested in that, do so. I'm not endorsed by anybody, as you know, but a sleep band, it has these flat. Okay, if you wear earpods, then it hurts your ear, right? So, and you can't really use them in your sleep. It just doesn't work. So, sleep band, it's this headband that has these flat microphones. I don't know what you say, speakers, flat speakers in them, so that you can lay on them and they're completely flat. So there's one for each side. You can take them out and wash the headband and everything. It's a sleep headband, and they advertise for them a lot at Christmas, and that's when I got mine. And it's great because I just love turning on something that will just allow my brain, many of us have talked about this, and see what was going on in SW. We all have, not we all, but I do, suffer from PTSD and anxiety and depression and all of that good stuff. So when you try to go to sleep, when you have those things, your brain is like, yeah, we're not going to sleep. We're going to wonder about this. We're going to wonder about that. We're going to wonder what we're going to do for dinner tomorrow. We're going to wonder about that. Did I do this? Did I turn the oven off? Did I? No. Yes. Did I? Would I? I don't know. Huh. And your brain just starts that, and it's like, get up. So if you turn on something that, like that, it's great because you go to sleep. No different than when you're a child and you have somebody read you a book, because that's what good parents do. They, read a story, cuddle their babies, put them to sleep when they're tired, listen for them if they have anything to say, listen for them if they cry in the night, all that good stuff. So it's awesome that A Curious Rose is doing that. I'm going to listen to that. So thank you so much for A Curious Rose doing that. So Neeks Peaks, Hot Ham, Bonita Barbie, A Curious Rose. Did I forget anybody? If I forgot anybody, it's my COVID brain. And I'll get to you the next time. I'm going to show you guys an example of my COVID brain, because I just saw this on my desk, okay? Here's my COVID brain. Okay. So my husband and I had our 20th anniversary in January. Okay. So apparently I had gotten him this card. I wish I could turn back the clock and find you sooner and love you longer. Happy anniversary. Right? Nice card. Okay? And I forgot that I bought that card, apparently, because I bought this card for the one I love. When I found you, my heart knew it was home. I hope you know that the life we've built means more to me than anything in the world. Happy anniversary, right? Beautiful, right? Apparently I forgot that I bought the other two, because apparently I bought a third, and for my husband on our anniversary, right? And blah, 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 loving me, blah, 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 right? Okay. So then apparently that I forgot that I bought the other three, and apparently I saw this one in the store again. Yep. I got two of the same even. The one I love. Right? Now here's the kicker with my freaking COVID brain. I didn't remember that I bought any of the four of them, and our anniversary was in January. And I just found these right now when I was going through some stuff on my desk. That's my COVID brain. I don't know if it's going to get any better, but my kids love COVID brain, Mom. They were laughing at me the other day because I completely did something just absent-minded or said something. I don't know what I did. That's how it is. And they were just laughing, and the one goes, don't you guys just love COVID, Mom? It's like the best. Like, COVID Mom is so cool. I'm like, so I remember that. So I think I remember long-term things better than remembering short-term things. Anyway. have a lot of little things to get to, and then I want to get to a couple of bigger things if you guys will bear with me. So, I am getting such great comments and I'm getting a lot of views, but I really need, here it goes, I get to be like a cheesy YouTuber. Can you guys please subscribe to me and like what you see? Because when I get to 501, somebody told me, I can do a live, and I'd love to do a live. And of course, I would not allow any, okay? But I think it'd be really fun if we could do a live and kind of talk amongst ourselves, because we're talking in the comments, so why not do it live? So please like and subscribe to my videos if you could. I'd really like it. Now, as I was saying, people say this and they're like, I would have wanted to be her friend. Oh, she's so fun. She would have been great, to be my friend and everything. I want to make it clear as easily as I can. Why are there no people coming forward that really were her good and true friends? If she was that popular, like she should have been with all of these videos, where are the people? Why aren't they coming out and saying what really happened? We've seen a handful, and they're not telling the whole story at all. They're not, okay? They're not. There are more reports of people blocking her and blocking her from groups than there are of people saying that she was a good friend, okay? Now, one of the things that people don't seem to understand is that she was a saleswoman. Everything coming out of her mouth was about sales. Back in the day, they used to call that a silver-tongued devil. Your car salesman. But it's hard to imagine a car salesman as a lady, right? Well, she worked for, it wasn't a car shop, but it was a high-end detailing shop. And remember, folks, she was accused of embezzling. Okay? She got the hell out of town because of it. There are rumors about the extensive criminal record that she had. Okay? So what you see is what she was selling. She was selling this image of the perfect mother with the perfect home and the perfect husband. Okay? No different than what those silly stickers were selling. They were selling this lifestyle that if you sell these silly stickers, you live a life of luxury. Okay? You get to drive around in a luxurious automobile. You get to take vacations all the time. Okay? Fun in the sun, and as she said, travel the world. Okay? She got to travel the world. She didn't say world, she said world. Just like that. And I don't know how many. I think somebody said 7 or 8. But she was selling an image. Like I've shown now. The oils. It wasn't because she was saying, look at what a good little mama I am, and I know how to make little Bella's tummy feel better. No. She was using Bella as a prop, exploiting her to help her sell. Okay, that's using a child as an employee. That's using I believe that she was 3 years old, somebody said in that video, where she said, oh, well, because she'd been coached on it. Okay? She was using her family as props, and when they weren't good for anything to sell the image or to be a prop to be exploited, they were put behind closed doors for 15 hours a day without toilet privileges. Whether they cried out, whether they screamed and cried, they were hungry, thirsty, tired, had to use the bathroom. It didn't matter because they couldn't open their own doors. And they had the rain machines, so they couldn't hear their mom or dad having conversations outside. You want to be like her and be her friend? I wouldn't befriend anybody who did that. And I'll tell you what, if I was their friend, they wouldn't be doing it because I would stop it. Okay? I would stop it. I would make sure that it did not happen again. I would go over there every single freaking night until they got a restraining order and be like, okay, what's going on? 6:30. Where's the girls? Huh? Huh? Like in that video the other night where somebody put up and she's like, oh, I'll ask Chris. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He'll get anything from me. Chris, get me this. Yeah, he'll do anything for me. Right now he's doing the laundry because we don't dry it. Yeah, what should I tell him to do next? Yeah. People saw that. That was part of where people were showing that and saying what a wonderful relationship they had. Where's the wine? Where are your kids? Oh, that was in that evening part where you got the alone mommy time, right? By putting them away, putting them on the shelf because you're done with them. And maybe they're crying, and maybe they're thirsty, and maybe they're hungry and they have to go to the bathroom, or maybe they've already soiled themselves, but it doesn't matter. Because your time is from 6:30 p.m. to a.m. And then they are gotten up and they are dressed and they are taken to daycare. I don't know what person calls themselves a stay-at-home mom that has their kids in daycare all day long and puts their kids behind locked doors for 15 hours. People say, oh, I would have hired her to organize my house. She had such a clean house. I wish my house would look like that. What cost was that clean house? That house was clean because the children were not allowed to play with toys. They were not allowed to play, run, and laugh as they are supposed to do as children having their childhood. Okay? The reason her house was clean because she did not let them do anything. In those silly videos where she's given them a few chocolate morsels that then she puts back in the bowl for some reason after they've already been touched, she had Bella in a frickin' high chair. So Bella couldn't like walk around and like help, and people are like, oh, she's so good letting her help and showing how to cook. No, she has one contained and the other one's stuck in the frickin' toilet. Okay? It's not what you want to be. And if you want to aspire to that, your expectations and your lifestyle as a mother must be very low. I used to try to be very clean. I used to try and keep my house immaculate. Okay? It bothered me that my house looked terrible, and what if somebody came in and saw that this was out of there and whatever. And I would clean and I would clean. And it was putting me into an early grave. I had to let go. I had to let my house get a little bit messy. I don't like it. I don't choose it. But that's the way that it is when you're an actual mom and you have actual kids doing actual kid things, and you have an actual family that you're actually cooking 3 meals for and snacks and doing the laundry and everything else. And you've got kids who are little tornadoes running around making messes and whatnot. That's what they're supposed to do. And they grow up so fast that if you blink, you'll miss it. So let them make the messes. And let anybody who doesn't understand if you have a messy house not ever come to your house. Don't invite them over. Okay? If you fear your judgment from them, they're not somebody you want in your house at all. So, as we were talking about the oil, people didn't realize that she was selling that. Yes, she was selling the oil. That was a whole setup. That was a skit. That was selling an image so that people would say, wow, I wonder what kind of oil that is. Because my daughter has stomach aches too. And there she'd be, and she'd be like, send me a private message, and she would give you the link to her Young Living website. I don't know if they had the auto-based websites that they have now for MLMs, or if then you could just come over and buy them, or how it was done, but that was an advertisement. That was a commercial. Okay? Now, before she was with Chris, she sold Amway. Okay, so she worked for an auto dealership, high-end, that did auto detailing and was accused of embezzlement, and she sold Amway. There are pictures of her at an Amway conference. The videos where she's showing how she does her makeup, and calling her little girls monsters and thieves because they're bothering her, and Cece's crying for milk and she's getting so frustrated. She was selling that line of makeup and selling those lashes. That was yet another commercial in which the kids bothered her for. Okay? She was always selling something. She sold an image that some people bought, but I don't buy it, and neither should you. Okay? It is rumored she sold LuLaRoe. I don't believe that she did. I do believe that she would give a shout out to her friends that did. And as I've explained before, as me being an actual MLM Hun bot, when we are at our vendor shows and stuff, we will trade goods for whatever value. You'll say, hey, you know, I have this, which is worth this much. Can I trade you this, which is worth this much in yours? You know, are we going by what we're selling it for or what we bought it for, and we find something in there. So if she had the LuLaRoe product, that's probably how I'm assuming she got it, by trading back and forth her silly stickers or oils or lashes or whatever. Okay? I could be wrong. She could have sold LuLaRoe too. I believe that she was selling Monet. Her hair had that classic looking like shit look that Monet does. If you don't believe me, go into Google Monet hair loss. I tried Monet because I've had illnesses. I'm going to say I have illnesses that twice have made my hair fall out. From being so sick, my body freaked out, and my body freaked out really bad when I was really bad with COVID last year. So my hair really falls out. That's how it responds to the extreme stress. My body does that. My hair's fallen out now, going on 3 times, and it's just, it is what it is. But Monet looked very attractive to me, and how it says, you know, that if, hey, do you know anybody who wants to grow their hair longer? If you do, give them my number and tell me how long do you want it. Do you want mermaid hair? If you want mermaid hair, you just, you know what, send me a PM and I'm going to tell you how. And they hook you up with that product. I tried it. It made my hair feel like a haystack, and I could not get a comb through it. It's very, very drying. And so, you know, I had bought it off a secondary site, so I did not have Monet Hun after me, so I was okay, and I just turned around and resold what I got. Some people really love it. And people right now who I see is selling it are the ones who have blonde extensions and a hat on, so you can't see the back of the hair nest that hair extensions give, because I did that once. And the frustration of trying to regrow my hair, I decided it was only bra strap length. Why wouldn't I want that mermaid hair that I've always wanted, right? So I did it. And I had hair down to my waist, and I felt so pretty for like 5 hours. And then I realized, my God, my whole head feels like a mop. I don't feel like a mermaid at all. I feel real heavy. And I feel like somebody could grab me by the feet and mop their floor with me. And nobody really told me the care involved and how you have to get really underneath at the nape of the neck and out and brush, or else you develop a hairbird's nest. And then you get this hump in the back. And that's why you can see in a lot of people who were doing extensions, 10 years ago it was really popular. And you can see this big lump in the back, or you see them not ever showing the back of their hair. That's why. So the ones who are really promoting the Monet right now, I see the classic look of the hair down to their waist, blonde, with a big hat. That's because their hair, their natural hair, is having problems. Okay? Look up Monet and look at hair loss Monet. There's been a lot of lawsuits. So what I believe happened that night was she had her recurring charge. I believe she was selling Monet. Okay? And I could be wrong. Whether she was selling it or she had a subscription to it, it came as an auto charge, and it bounced. She was not going online trying to buy hair products after she had just gotten home being 16 weeks pregnant and a delayed flight and talking about the separation and everything else and whatever else was going on at home. She wasn't like, I want to go buy a couple bottles of shampoo online. That's what I need to do right now at 2 a.m. after all this. And I have to be up in the morning to go to the doctor. That's what I want to do. No, it was an automated charge. It bounced. It gave her an alert that her auto whatever from money did not go through. So then she knew that there was no money in the account, and that could have really spurned the fire that it stoked the fire that night that led to something so terrible. Our minds don't want to go there, but we have to go there. Okay, we have to. And look at this book, Criminal Investigation, Method for Reconstructing the Past. That's what we're doing, because I don't think that the actual criminal investigators reconstructed their past. I think that they jumped on a hurried, panicked utterance of words and went with it, because there was a lot of big eyes, a white woman with 2 beautiful white children missing. We've heard that before. We know who it is. We want to solve it really fast. And Agent Tammy said she went to SW's Facebook and got some information. And that's how she knew that SW was such a good mom. The Hamburglar went to Facebook for her criminal investigation. Well, so the Hamburglar believed what? Did she see? I saw the same kind of pictures in Kaylee Anthony's social media of her grinning and holding a little girl, and by all accounts, Casey Anthony was a great mom. Okay? That's what she did. She bought the image, and with that image, swooped that Hamburglar sweater, had wings on it. She swooped into the room the second that Papa Ronnie said, should we maybe get like one of those, like, what are they called? Those men in suits, those, I don't know, like, what are they called? Like, I don't know. Do you know how you could get like one of those, what are they called? A liar or a lawyer attorneys? So yeah, as soon as Papa Ronnie started saying that, she swooped in. And was like, this isn't happening. Okay, Chris, you're going to tell us what happened. Okay? I've been on the Facebook. I've been watching the Facebook. I've been seeing the Facebook. And you know what happened here. You need to tell me what happened here now, okay? And if you're real good, I'm going to give you another deep massage in your shoulders. Someday I'll bring you chocolate milk wherever you're at. And what the? Not what I expect out of a criminal investigator, okay? As a child, we're told fairy tales. And what happens? Beautiful lady is in distress. Something happens. Oh, here's another prop I can bring in, just like my Altoid saw me the other day. Here, I'll do that hot ham. Beep, 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 beep. Let's move this over. Beep, 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 beep. Here we go. Fairy tales. Okay. I got all these crumbs on my desk. I don't know what the heck happened here. I don't know. Parts of my desk haven't seen the light of day in a long time. So, okay. As a child, we had fairy tales, right? Who's that? Maleficent, right? Who else? Oh, yes, there's Cruella. Okay. All these evil queens. We have Ursula for the Little Mermaid. This one, I don't know what one that's from. It's from one of the newer ones. I don't know. But hold on, I gotta get the Snow White one. Hold, please. I'm gonna go here. This is a Scentsy warmer. Very much an MLM thing. Oh, there's Simba. Okay, there we are. There we are. That beautiful witch who would look in the mirror and say, mirror, mirror, who is the most beautiful woman in the kingdom? And the mirror would say, oh, beautiful queen, it's you. Every time. One time it didn't. So she had to go out on a quest and get rid of Snow White, who was now said to be more beautiful than her. But you know what happened? That beautiful lady who was in distress? Prince Charming came and gave her a kiss, and everything was fine. The effects of that poison apple were gone. Maybe we all believe the fairy tale that if something terrible happens, you simply call the police. These men in these nicely ironed blue uniforms with a shiny badge are going to come, and they're going to go find the big fat toothless mean monster that just did something terrible under the bridge, and they're going to put him in jail. And you go on about your life. Is it a fairy tale to believe that when something happens, justice is served? Have we reached that point in our society that it's a fairy tale? That justice isn't derived from the truth and the facts anymore? So who can lie better? I don't know. Because one of the things that bothers me is that when the investigators said what kept them going in this investigation is they would get to work and there would be a voicemail from SW's mother reminding them to do their work, to put CW behind bars. And those voicemails reminded them to do their work. What I don't understand in SW's mom's voicemails is why wasn't she explaining to those very investigators that SW had just spent 6 weeks with her and came down to the salon several times. And even everybody at the salon knew, as they spoke to reporters, that SW, while pregnant with her third child, was indeed separating from her husband. Okay? The narrative that came from that side of the family, leaving those voicemails, was that while she was out visiting us, that dirty dog CW went and started having an affair with some chick from his work and decided that he'd rather just have that chick from his work and decided to throw them all away like trash. Well, that'd be a fairy tale, wouldn't it? It'd be that something terrible happened. Somebody calls the police. The police go, take care of it, put somebody in a cage, throw away the key. It's done. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Is that a fairy tale? I think so. I think so, folks. She knew that her daughter was pregnant with her third child, facing a divorce and a foreclosure. And they had already claimed bankruptcy, so it wasn't going to be like this was going to be able to be all written off, just like it was the last time that she spent too much. Okay? Why wasn't that chapter involved in the fairy tale? As I've spoken about in my video entitled A Possible Piece to the puzzle. I talk about that and how it could maybe fit. And I don't have the exact statistics, but they're here. They're probably in here, one of these books. Oh. The time in which a couple is separating is the most dangerous, as in the most high risk for something to happen. It's separation assault. I'm sorry, I don't have the statistics for you, and I should. But that was a factor, and her being pregnant was a factor. A pregnant woman's risk of being killed. Gosh, is it the second leading cause of death during pregnancy, or is it the first? I'm sorry, I don't have the statistics there. I shouldn't have spoken to those facts, to those concepts without having the statistics. I apologize. But either way, what I'm saying is that there were actually two really stressful things going on. And if it was no secret, and CW possibly gave her the $10,000 that he got out of his retirement account and sent her there to possibly make things work with the father of the baby, if that's what was really going on. Her plan B was going to be with CM. CM refused because he's happily married. Yes, he was having an affair. Okay? But he didn't want to get married and take on two more kids that weren't his. Because then, if he has two kids and she has two kids and she's pregnant with theirs, well, that makes 5 all of a sudden. And he didn't want the freaking Brady Bunch all of a sudden overnight, did he? Her plan B was to go to North Carolina, live with the man who it's rumored that the third pregnancy was from, be by her parents so they could help with the kids, come back to town after all that dust had settled about the whole embezzlement snafu, right? Because plan A had failed. Plan A was being married to CW, being a brilliant mastermind at all MLMs so that she could continue the lifestyle that they purported, which was much more attractive to her than changing diapers or cuddling a baby before bed or tending to a baby at night at all. She said from day one she taught Cece sleep training. She taught Cece sleep training from day one. That meant 12 hours behind closed doors. That meant that baby cried and cried and cried and cried and cried. And everybody wants to sit there and be like, oh yeah, well, Cece is a whole different breed. Yeah, she was just a little tornado. She was hyper. She was always crying. Yeah, I couldn't control a kid like that. I wouldn't want a kid like that, I've seen in comments. Oh yeah? That's a baby that was never taught trust. That's a baby that was taught from day one that you can cry all you want and your needs will not be met. Cry all day. Make it a freaking hobby. Make it everything you do, because it doesn't matter. Your cries will get nothing. When a child doesn't know how to speak, they cry. Okay? What was Cece always doing? What did her dad say? Her dad was making fun of the kids, in fact, going, yeah, daddy, 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 daddy. Well, yeah, because they knew that their mom wasn't going to get them anything they ever needed. Okay? Like I say, if she got into a situation where she found out that motherhood was a little more labor intensive than she had thought, don't get pregnant with a third child. Okay? I can say that, okay, once you tried it out and the first one, you're like, oh crap, this really isn't cut out for me and my lifestyle the way I want it. Okay? She had already had Bella on the Babywise sleep schedule, sleep training that she claims the book told her to do. So that meant that she'd already had great frustration and was not cuddling or consoling Bella. So why'd she have a second? Well, she liked the attention that comes with being pregnant and the romance that it is. It's kind of a wonderful time in a woman's life. And once you get past the morning sickness phase and you're like, oh, I got my little baby in here and everybody's so nice to you. And for a short period of time, you just get to enjoy the fact that a baby's there, a baby's coming. You get to decorate a nursery, and that's so fun. And go and buy all the baby stuff. And then that baby comes, and that baby cries, and that baby has needs. And you can't do your makeup, and you can't even frickin' shower. Nobody's there to help you because somebody's got to pay the bills. Motherhood isn't for the weak. Motherhood is for the strong. Motherhood is for the ones that put themselves on the back burner, and they're never thanked. And so from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of the mothers who are doing the hard work, and thank you to all of the stay-at-home mothers who have chosen to go with less so that your children have more. Okay? I see you. Other people do see you. And your grown children, who will be a result of you taking the time for them, do see you. And your house will be clean at some point when they all flock out of the nest, which happens sooner than you know. You know what I mean? So, this has kind of been a little chopped up video of many, many thoughts. I've got so much content that I want to do, and I'm working on it to see the best way to introduce it all so they don't overwhelm you. I know that sometimes it takes a little bit to let a concept sink in, but I'm really proud of all of the other women who are standing up and speaking the truth. And men too. Men. Anybody who is bringing this up. It's taken us 4 years to say, my goodness, what was going on here? Do you know what I mean? A quick little wrap up here. I'm going to do a couple of more organized videos for you. Like I say, this one just kind of I wanted to tie up some loose ends, if you will. Thank you for bearing with me. And like I said, please subscribe so that I can do a live one of these days. I'm not saying that I'll show my ugly face, but I'll do a live. I might, I don't know. I don't even know how to get meds. I don't know how to get meds. I don't know how to, right? I don't know how to get mods. I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I know that there's StreamYard, so I'll probably need to download StreamYard. But like I say, I don't even know how to do a mod thing. I don't know if that comes with StreamYard, YardStream, whatever that is, right? Okay. So please subscribe, because if I get to 501, and I want to do the community thing. I don't know how to do that. Like I say, I don't have a laptop. I just have my phone. And so I do everything, and I don't see the option for writing things like a little message through the day or whatever, or a picture. I don't know how to do that. If somebody could tell me what I'm missing, I have an Android if that helps, or if that comes with when I have more subscribers, I can have a community thing, because I don't see that I have a community page or anything, but I have a community. You guys are my friends in my community, and we're all going to get together, and we're all going to talk about these things and how to make a better world for children like Bella and Cece, so that maladaptive behaviors that are observed are no longer accepted. Okay? We are a woke culture, and we've been asleep for too long with what child abuse truly is. And that sometimes the moms are really pretty. You know? And it's not just these ugly, toothless women and the Candace Blythe story and the Candace and Bandis and Mandis family and the dad. Sometimes abusive moms are beautiful. Okay? We've got to see that. One of the reasons why the Zodiac Killer was never caught, he was charismatic, attractive. He couldn't be going out killing couples, now could he? Ted? Come on, Ted. He volunteered at a suicide hotline, sat right next to Anne Rule. May she rest in peace. A man who answered the telephone to people who were hanging on by a thread and called the suicide hotline. A man who can do that, he has compassion, empathy. He couldn't be Ted, even though his yellow bug was the exact yellow bug seen at every single crime site. And I've went to Ted's areas. It was a common thing. I would go around those areas on a regular basis and just shaking my head. No one believed Ted did it because Ted was attractive. Green River Gary, not attractive, but they just thought, well, since he has a job and goes to his job every day, he couldn't possibly be killing prostitutes. He's a family. He's a family, for goodness sakes. So what if his coworkers called him GR for Green River Gary because his coworkers thought it? No one else did. Yeah. People do not necessarily match their outside of what they got in the inside. So please start seeing that perfect family that you see may not be perfect, and the kids inside may really be hurting. Those kids may not be hyper or difficult or problem child. Those kids might be the scapegoat so that the mom and the dad can blame them instead of looking at what's really going on between them. I think it was Hot Ham who said something today about SW going to marital counseling the first time. And I don't know if SW's mom said it or what. But that's very telling. It's very telling that because SW claimed that there was abuse in the first marriage. And there was counseling. Now, SW wouldn't go back to counseling because of her experience. I don't know if I got that right, if CW wouldn't or SW wouldn't, but I think it's very interesting. But what it's saying is that there was another marriage with other problems. The catalyst is SW. CW had not been married before, nor had he had a long-term relationship. So, that's interesting and very interesting. Because I wonder what a counselor would have seen. I wonder if they would have seen the image as perfect and they would have seen CW as a man who was held in his emotions and mistakenly labeled him as the narcissist. Because what happens sometimes with a malignant narcissist is that the partner takes on some of that behavior. So it's real easy to see two people who are enmeshed in a relationship. One is very codependent on the other. The codependent one mirrors the outward dysfunction. And that's why I think that mainstream media got it wrong and labeled CW as the narcissist when the true narcissist is SW. Dr. Phil should have caught that. But I'm sure his staffers, just served him up all the clips too of the Facebook and the image that was sold, and he bought the image too. He bought it. Don't know. The claims about SA, as in S abuse. I don't think that I've seen anything to say that there was at all. I believe that that could have been taken out of text for what I said, where I said that having the man in the relationship of the dad perform rectal temperatures every night by lubing up a thermometer and her standing behind with a camera, that could look very, very damning. And I believe that she would have done what many narcissistic mothers do in a very yucky custody battle. They blame and say that the man was doing SA. And I do not for a second think that Chris would. I do think that boundaries were not being taught, and the little girls were not being taught about what was theirs and what was their private parts and who was allowed to touch those private parts and for what. And there's no doctor on the face of the planet that would say that you would rectally take a temperature of, let alone one, but two girls every night. That messes with the sphincter. A Curious Rose could help me on this, because peristalsis, when you're constipated, if the patient, I'm trying to remember, because when patients were constipated, to promote peristalsis, you'd get a glove and lube it up and digitally stimulate, which is what would happen on a... I don't know if she started it from newborn or not, but that being a routine every single night performed by your father while your mother is standing behind videotaping it is not normal. That could have also led to Bella's constipation. She could have been clenching, okay? And that clenching leads to a lot of things, and boy, I hate that she did that. I think it's disgusting. Very disgusting. I don't know why. I don't know what the motive was. I don't think there was any abuse. I think that there's boundaries that were crossed. I think that the insanity of doing that is so questionable. And what was it going to lead to? And when was it going to stop? When they were 16? I mean, ridiculous. I also do not like that it was videotaped having Cece on the ground with her diaper after her dad had just taken her temperature, that SW was standing there videoing Chris on the ground, changing her diaper, and videoing that Cece was pulling up her underwear over her diaper. Those kind of images go to people who sell those images. That's not normal. Please don't videotape your child in that situation. Those images go and they get sold, and you don't know who it's going to get sold to that's going to say, I want to go and find this child. Don't do it. It's disgusting. It's invasive to the child. It's wrong. It's disgusting. It's exploitative, and it should never be done. Now, if we look at the other part of what was going on in that dynamic, why was there a child gate there? So Bella had to talk to everybody through a cage. There was a child door, a little gate. So here's Bella talking to them through this gate because she's blocked off from coming in. Well, CW is doing whatever, taking the thermometer, whatever, taking the temperature on Cece, and SW standing there filming, not hands-on taking care of the girls, which she didn't do. She filmed. She filmed and talked about doing things, but her actually doing things? Why would you be filming that? Having Bella on the other side of the child gate. So poor sweet Bella is asking for something, asking for a stuffed animal or whatever, and I think that SW said no or whatever, and Cece is like, no, No, I'm going to get my sister what the hell she wants. I'm going to get my sister this, right? And she did. Go Cece. Cece was not going to play into these games, okay? She was going to fast lose control over Cece, and that's what was happening. And that's why she was saying, oh, she's so hyper and blah, blah. No, this kid was not buying what she was selling, literally, okay? And we know that Bella actually said, put the phone down, okay? We know it's been said that, oh, she was everywhere with her phone. But okay, hold on before I go to that thing. When Bella said, oh, I like it, I love it, I love this turtle so much, I like it, I love it, I melted. She's so cute. She's like, I really like this. Thank you so much. Cece had gotten up, and at that point in time, Cece was the actual nurturer and parent in that whole equation. Go Cece. Okay? Why would you have a child gate blocking out the other child while you're all sitting there doing that? Were there child gates always on the doors so that if, God forbid, the locks failed on their bedrooms, their separate bedrooms, they were not allowed to access each other? SW had said that the locks are on the shared bathroom, so that Bella wouldn't get to Cece in the night. And then she's on the other side of a gate, so Bella can't get to Cece. What do they think Bella was going to do to Cece? What were the innuendos? Why wouldn't Bella be in there sitting with them if they're having a family thing? What would that make Bella feel like if she's on the other side of a gate looking in at her family, asking for something to play with, and Cece finally gets up and is like, no, I'm getting this for you? Would make me feel really left out if I was Bella. And put yourself in Bella and Cece's position sometimes and just think about it. It's really sad. It's really sad. Now, about SW's phone. Yes, it was always on her. And that 15-year-old son of NA's found it. How did he know to go right to the cushions and find it? I don't know. I don't know about that. It's weird. I don't know that if I couldn't. I guess when I can't find my phone, I'll call to the kids to help me, and they'll go and look in the laundry room, my nightstand, my desk, like places like that. That, like, if I get called away from one of them and I'm in the middle of doing something, that's where they're gonna be. But not in the couch cushions. It was really weird that he found it. Really weird. I also found him and NA to be really stoic given the situation. I don't know. I'm not saying they were involved in any way. I'm just saying it was weird. So on that note, I'll tie up. Thank you so much for letting me tie up some of these loose ends. I have better content, I promise. I apologize if this one was choppy. I've just got some things on my mind. So thanks for letting me get them out. I shall talk to you all soon. I'll try to get another recording out in the next couple of days. Thank you all, and I will keep the comments open, but once again, no. Okay? And like I say, I think that the best way to start if you're just starting listening to me is go to a possible piece of the puzzle 2 videos back. That'll kind of explain my line of thinking. All right, thank you all. Have a great night, day, evening, whatever it is. We're getting closer to the weekend, folks. Bye-bye.